Hey guys, so today I have two figures that I wanted to show you guys. So this is Sesshomaru from Inuyasha. I haven't seen the actual anime yet because I'm kind of like on a break from anime technically because I haven't watched anime in a long time. So yeah, but basically I bought two figures of him and they were both from Amazon. One of them I did have to buy off of the American Amazon, so I don't know if I was charged like extra fees. Potentially I was because like tax and the tariff stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm not too sure like if it actually had it because I was confused when looking at the calculations. However, it was $44.99 in terms of like the figure itself when it came to American, like USD, and then all of a sudden I'm paying $82.26 for everything, including the shipping Canadian. So I don't know what happened there. It seems very expensive. I'm not too sure if that's just a conversion or if there was like more stuff charged over it, because sometimes it will say you have to pay extra fees for specific things because it's coming from America, which is very annoying. But anyways, that is for the noodle stopper. However, I will say that it's very expensive for a noodle stopper. I would have said 30 to maybe 50 to $60 Canadian would be more reasonable. Like 60 would be kind of expensive, but at the same time it make more sense. But like $80 roughly, including the shipping and everything. I just went full out for this one because it seemed like I couldn't get it anywhere else, and I was trying to look for like nice Sesshomaru figures that were like affordable. It kind of turned out really expensive, but yeah. Anyways, I bought the noodle stopper. So this one actually came from what is it? America, I think. And then this one was actually imported from Germany, apparently, a company that was selling it from Germany, but it was listed on the Canadian website and I paid like $64.92 for it. Again, a little bit expensive, but it is Qposket, and a lot of the stuff there's like rarities and stuff like that too, so I'm not too sure like how expensive it is. I definitely feel like though for the noodle stopper I could have gotten cheaper. However, it does look like an older item, so I'm not too sure. So yeah, so I guess I will show the noodle stopper first. This one actually did not come in a box, like the shipping box. They put it in like the thick envelope material, and it was ripped open when Canada Post gave it to me, so I'm not too sure what happened. I think it might have been customs that opened it, to be honest, because Canada Post normally doesn't open the packaging, but I'm not too sure if it was the actual delivery guy or if it was the customs fee when it was being cleared and stuff like that. But yeah, luckily it was just ripped. Nothing was like used, like nothing had an X-Acto knife thing on it, so it didn't get like cut or anything. However, because it wasn't in a box, the box itself got damaged in the shipping, I think, because it was really bad. There's a tear here, but I don't know if this is the original state of the box or was it actually just like the shipping did this, because potentially if it's not in a proper box, it could have been damaged from that too. So yeah, so I opened it from the bottom, but anyways, this is the packaging for it. This is from For You, this company. They make the noodle stopper figures. Technically, the scaling could go with some of the Ban Presto ones, so I'm fine with them, but I've been really into like the ones that sit, like the figures, so the noodle stoppers are actually really nice if you like the sitting figures. So yeah, technically they're supposed to be for putting on top of your instant noodles, like your cup ramen, and then putting them over the seals and just having them sit there as your noodles heat up with boiling water inside. But again, like I say in every video for these noodle stoppers, I probably will never trust that because I don't want heat touching plastic, because technically it can kind of like ruined plastic depending on the grade and stuff like that, and I don't know how durable figure plastic is to like heat. Maybe a couple times doing it is fine, but I wouldn't put it as that. So yeah, I would probably just use it as a normal figure. It kind of seems like an older box though, because the boxes don't like look like this anymore. Like my Haikyuu ones look really like fancy, and they don't look like this. Like the backgrounds are normally simple, and they don't have all these like photoshopped effects. I feel like this looks a little bit cheesy, but I do like the maple leaves. However, I've never seen a box for the noodle stoppers like this, so I'm thinking maybe it's an older figure. I think I did search up the like time frame for when these were made, like, or released versus the Haikyuu ones, and the Haikyuu ones are newer, so that's probably why the boxing is a bit different. This is the top part, and then this is the side, just a picture of Sesshomaru, the back with all the warnings and stuff. Again, the side, another picture of Sesshomaru, and the bottom is the same as the top. And before anyone asks, yes, I did open this beforehand because I felt like it might have been ruined. So I just wanted to open it to double check if it was okay, and also look at the quality of the figure itself. So for this one, it actually comes in like the plastic casing. Normally they don't. They just come in these like cardboards that are basically folded in a way where it's like tight against the figure so it doesn't move around a lot. There seems to be like no bubble wrapping or anything for these type of figures. That goes for most of the Japanese figures in general. So yeah, but this is new for me, having like the one in like a case like this. So yeah. So people were saying it seems a bit bigger than other noodle stoppers. I don't know if that's just the character itself, but it is 5.5 inches, which I looked up online. Apparently it's typically that size for the noodle stoppers, so it shouldn't be like that much bigger than the other ones, to be honest. Like, it seems like they are all the same size. The paint job is really good for the most part. Like, I hardly see any like paint scuffs and stuff like that. Do love like the attention to detail on his face. So pretty. He has like his sword hilt here, and then like his armor. His armor is like, this piece is like actual like metallic paint, as for like the rest is like regular paint. And then he does have his fur boa. So pretty. I actually love this one. Now this one is going to be hard to sit. It's the same as my Demon Slayer one, which is like Gyu, where his feet are downwards, so he's supposed to be like leaning his feet down, like his legs down like this. So it will be harder to sit in terms of you actually have to lean them on the edge of the table or shelf, or if you have like a stand that they can stand on, they'll have to be on the edge of it, unfortunately, because the way that they're sitting. And he does have his pointy ears. The shading on the hair is very pretty for this one, because it's like white hair, but it does have like the light bluish paint on it as well. And normally I don't see that much shading on the For You ones, but I think that's because most of the characters that I end up buying normally have black hair. However, he's like one of the rare ones where they have the white hair, so I see like all the shading and everything. So they actually did a lot of detail. Here's what the bottom looks like. There is all the details on the bottom, however it is flat here so he can sit down properly, and it does have the detailings on like his shoes too. So pretty. And then just basically sits like so he can sit like that. So that's the noodle stopper. I really love this one. And then the next one I got was Sesshomaru, but this is the Qposket one, so it's like the chibi-esque type of figure. It is made by Qposket, so Qposket normally does like the chibi looking ones. It's like the Qposket series, and it's made by Presto and Bandai. So again, there is version A and B. I think I did get version A. B has like more like a grayer fur boa, and the colors are a bit darker. Not really accurate to the show per se, but that's a variant you can get. And then I think A is more accurate in terms of like it's lighter and stuff like that. But both of them look pretty, but I just wanted A. I love the detailing of the pictures on the whole like box. So I did open this one too because I wanted to see. Apparently people were complaining that it wasn't bubble wrapped or anything like that on Amazon, like the reviews. However, that's not technically the seller's fault. So basically Qposket and anime figures in general, they normally don't put bubble wrap. Some of them have bubble wrap around the figures, but others don't. But Qposket seems to not do that. So this is a typical like way that they will wrap theirs. So it's not really the seller's fault that it's wrapped like this. Basically, it's just tight around it with the cardboard, and then they will put it in a plastic bag like this where the parts are separated basically. So yeah. I get confused about like reviews when they're reviewing the product, but meanwhile you should be reviewing the seller, because normally the seller is the one, like if they give you like if they ship it properly and stuff like that. So yeah, but in this case it's totally like the company, like how they wanted to present it. It's not really the seller's fault. So normally it comes sealed. I just opened it again. So this one has a matte finish for theirs. I know some of theirs have like a more glossy finish for these stands, but this one is matte like most of mine are. I think most of them are actually matte except for one or two. But anyways, yeah, and then it has the pegs for like his feet. So sometimes they have pegs on the feet like this one, and then other times they have pegs on the stand. I kind of prefer the one where the pegs are on the stand, but it's just whatever at this point. Also, the figure is better balancing on the stand anyway. So yeah, it does have Qposket on there. And yeah, that's the stand. So he comes in two pieces. Just gotta put his head on. Hang on. Like so. He's super pretty. I did notice some scuff and paint jobs that were like not that great, to be honest, with this figure. I think it's just the one that I got per se. It's not necessarily like, I guess the quality control wasn't there for some reason, I guess. So yeah, but there were some scuff marks and stuff like that, like the paint job. If I go around, you'll probably see it. So yeah, he does have his like claws here. Super cute. And then he does have like these pretty eyes. Qposket always has like very pretty eyes. They're like kind of glossy-ish, like glossy, like the way that they look and everything. And he does have like really nice detailing. The fur boa is actually very nicely detailed. It does feel like it's a separate piece, like it's kind of like wiggly, so I guess they did it as a separate piece and didn't really like glue it on per se. I think they just, the way they attached it is permanently attached, because this part is like stuck to itself basically. And then the detailing on his sleeves are very nice. Here is his other side. He does have the pointy ears, which I love the detailing for. And then it does have like all the armor pieces and everything that he had. Now there was a plastic wrapping over this. I think this is like soft plastic, but there was plastic wrap over this so that way it didn't like smudge onto itself basically. Like when it's in the box, but I took it out already. So yeah. And then the swords, it just comes on him. Apparently some people received it that the hilts were broken off, but mine was perfectly fine, so I have no issues with that. And then we have his other arm. Basically it's supposed to be that his hand is just inside, I guess, because they didn't really do a detailing for his hand. So I think his sleeves are actually very long, so that's why they don't have to do like the other hand detailing, except for one of them, which is actually sticking up like this. So yeah. His hair is super pretty. It just has a little defect like this bump here, but it's okay, I guess. It's just a small thing. But it's painted like very well. It is white, but it kind of looks like a gray. Like there's like a grayish like pearly color to it. I think that's just how it's supposed to be painted. It kind of looks like a dirty white, to be honest, where it's not completely clean. I don't think the camera is picking up on that too much, but that's fine. But overall, it looks really nice. And then here's the pants. His pants have so much detail, like for the wrinkling and stuff. And then he does have his shoes, like the detailing for them as well. And then you just put him on like so. And there you go. I'll just do little 360 basically. I absolutely love this one. He is Inuyasha's older brother, and I think he has like a more serious vibe to him. I definitely want to watch the show, but I don't know when I will do that. But my friend has been like trying to get me to watch it. He said it's like really good. I think Inuyasha is like one of the classic animes where like it's the older ones that normally people have seen. But again, like I'm so behind on different things that like I've been focused on like only specific animes. Also, by the way, I haven't been binge watching like a lot of stuff, so I normally watch really slowly nowadays. I don't know, it's just me. I can't binge watch that many things. But yeah, eventually I'll get to like some animes that my friend has been recommending. But I haven't even finished Fire Force yet, and I'm only on the first season. And I started when Fire Force just was released. So it's kind of funny that I haven't even caught up at all. But I don't know if I want to, so I'm very behind. But yeah, here's both figures. They look very pretty. I do like the ones where they're like more proportionate though, like realistically proportionate. I would have liked a big figure of him too, but the noodle stopper with the sitting pose is really nice, so I'm glad that I got it. I think I may have paid a little bit too much for it though, but to be honest, I don't know, because sometimes there are rarities for them as well, so I don't know if that's why it was marked up that much, or if the seller is just marking it up on purpose, or like other things too. But definitely I think the conversion rate and everything like that for USD to CAD is very like expensive, because Canadian dollar is not as strong as US dollar. So yeah, but either way, I think they're worth it. Like for me personally, that's just how I would put it. And I do love this one too. Like he's very cute, and the size is like perfect too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.